Welcome back to Knits and Avocations. My name is Brooke, and this is my knitting podcast where I talk about my knits, projects, anything I'm working on crafting wise, sometimes some home herbalism, sometimes mama life, a lot of books too, all the things, whatever I'm interested at the moment in really, but mostly knitting. So this is episode 8. And I just have a project update episode for you today. So if that sounds like your jam or your cup of tea, then join me for some whips in progress, works in progress, and books. Got three projects, 3 knitting projects, and 3 books for you today. So thanks for joining me. I am also over on Instagram where I share my knitting there as well a bit, and books. I'll put my handle up on the screen for you here so you can come and connect with me there. It's Brooke__Shovlin. I know the spelling is sometimes hard to figure out, so I'll put it on the screen for you. And I'm also on Ravelry. And yeah, go connect with me there. I'd love to see what you're working on. And a quick thank you to all of those of you who joined me again on my last episode. It had been a while since I had posted a new episode, since November, and I posted a new episode recently, and the welcome that I got from you guys really warmed my heart, really made me so was the uplift that I needed to keep on putting out episodes for you guys. It made me so happy to see that there were a really good handful of you who have looked forward to my episodes in the past, looked forward to seeing what I'm working on, and it was really great to see that. So thank you to those of you who commented or sent me a message on Instagram saying how excited you were that I had a new episode, and I'm so glad that you all joined me, and let me know what you guys are working on. And let's get started with the whips. So like I said, only 3 projects right now. So I've been kind of monogamously knitting on my Novice cardigan by PetiteKnit, and so I was kind of waiting to do another episode until I had more to show you, or more works in progress going on to show you, because I always enjoy watching other knitting podcasters episodes where they show a bunch of projects at once, but I've just been not working on that many projects at once. So I figured, you know what, I had a brunch with 2 of my girlfriends this morning, who are also they also have YouTube channels for different content, different topics. One, she has a YouTube channel for homeschooling curriculum and homeschooling tips and all kinds of that stuff. I'll link both their channels below for you in case if that content interests you. But my girlfriend Shauna, she has a homegrown homeschools, her YouTube channel, and she shares all homeschooling stuff. And my other girlfriend, she Ashley, she reviews baby gear like strollers and wagons and all that kind of fun stuff. I'll link them both below. But anyways, we were having brunch this morning, and they asked me how my podcast was going, and I'm like, yeah, I posted an episode recently, but it had been since November. Before that, things just got more crazy, and they totally get it though. But they've been working on their episodes and their podcasts, and they love podcasting too. And so they inspired me by just inquiring, how's it going? And I'm like, oh, I said originally, I need to post another episode, and I thought, you know what, no, I don't need to, but I want to, and this does really light me up, and I so enjoy sharing with you guys my knitting. And so I thought, you know what, I've got nap time today, 2-year-old is sleeping, or he should be, and I'm gonna show you guys what I'm working on, regardless of if I have a lot of projects going on at once or just a few. So anyways, let me stop rambling. This is what I've mostly been working on, my Novice cardigan by PetiteKnit. I love this. It's so soft and fuzzy, and it's been so much fun just to work on it. I think I'm gonna be sad when I'm done with it. But I really have loved working on just a full mohair project. This is knit using Tynn silk mohair, my Sandnes garn, and in color 8521, in this beautiful pistachio-like green. This is the color that, I believe it's the color that she knit the sample project with. I just loved that color. I'm like, I need it in that color. So I am doing an extra small, I believe. I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna work for me. I love it so far. You can see some of this here. I am on sleeve number 1. And it's coming along really well. It's just a joy to work on. I'm really just enjoying it. Here's the back. You can see more of the knit stitch, that side. So this sleeve's on hold. This is the one that I'm working on. This sleeve, honestly, once I started it, I thought it would go a little faster than it is, but it is quite a wide, circumference. But so it's taken a little bit, but it's just pure joy to work on. So I don't mind that it's taking a little while. My husband and I are going out for a date night tonight, and so I'm excited to bring it to the movie theater with us and work on it until our movie starts. And one thing I did do with this is the armpit. I hate when you have those holes in the armpit, and when you follow the pattern, you will end up with holes if you don't do a technique to patch it up, because the pattern expects you to then go back and sew them. I would like to avoid that if possible. I don't know if you guys do that too. I'd rather have minimal sewing, weaving, and ends. I already have enough ends to weave in on this thing. I really just don't want extra to have to go weave in. And so I did go to the extra video that PetiteKnit has to close up those holes, and it looks lovely. Looks great. I don't know if you can see the armpit there, but I think it looks lovely with those holes patched up, and I don't think I'll really need to do much weaving in there. Yeah. The other thing about this was I questioned at first, because of the way that the yoke is knit and the increases are, how they almost look, when you do the increase rows, a little gappy to me. But I was doing it right, and I kept questioning it, and then I was like, am I doing this right? And yeah, I was doing it right, but it just looked a little gappy to me. I think that's just the way that's supposed to be. Let me know if you've knit this before, or if you've done a project like this before where it looks like that on the increase row. I don't mind it now seeing it all like as a whole, but if you can, let me know if you can see that. If you notice it like I do. I don't see it as much now that the project is oh, you know, bigger. But at first when I was working on it and I could see more distinctly those rounds, I was like, I'm doing something wrong here. But no. Anyways, I don't mind it now. At first though, I was questioning it. So all that I have left is to finish the first sleeve, do the second sleeve, and then the placket. Placket? I think I'm saying the right word for it. This is my first, this is my second mohair in my mouth. Oh, I hear the garage door open. You might hear my husband come in and walk around. But second ever garment object other than an accessory, shawl, blanket, or anything like that. So I'm fairly new to the garment knitting, but I'm really loving it and so enjoying it. And I was debating, I was even chatting with my friend Molly. She's on Instagram. She's not on YouTube yet. She's planning on starting a podcast. Molly, if you're seeing this, get cracking, woman. I need you to start a podcast too. My girlfriend Molly, she also knits and she crochets. She's on Instagram. I'll link her below. But I was texting her and I'm like, I think I might go longer on this because I tend to like a longer cardigan. All the cardigans that I own that are not hand knit are longer. I don't know if that's just because usually commercial cardigans they just are that way, or if it's because I gravitate toward those. I don't know what it is, but all my cardigans are long and I love that about them. So then I was worried that if this was real short, which it kind of, in a lot of the project pictures it is, if I was going to end up loving it enough to where I grab it often and you know that I like that quality about it. And so I was debating going longer. I ended up when I reached, but also I'm very petite, and I do like the look of this cardigan on other people when it's short. So I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna go with it and trust the pattern on all the people who look like they're my size wearing it. It looks great on them. And so I'm just gonna go with it. And anyways, Molly and I were she was helping me determine if I wanted to go longer or not, and I was like, okay, you're right. I decided to end up going with the pattern. When I reached the point where it said to start the ribbing, I started the ribbing. And then when I reached the end of the ribbing, then I was like, oh, maybe I should have gone longer. But then I realized that if I were to have gone longer, I would have needed to do it when I was still on the knit, not on the ribbing, because I realized if I go longer on the ribbing, I don't think I'll like the look of if the ribbing is much longer than it already is, because it's quite a long ribbing. It's like 2¼ inches is what it calls for. I think I did 2½ inches. I like the long ribbing, but if I were to go much longer, I don't think it would look the way that I want it. So I cast it off and I'm going to trust. I know that mohair is not going to really block out and stretch that much, but I'm going to trust it. It lands when I put it on and try it on. It lands at a good spot that I like. But it's also really hard to tell when you don't have the completed object, if you know what I mean. So last things on this, I ordered my buttons. Please tell me where y'all are getting your buttons, because when I realized I needed buttons, I was like, ooh, I'm getting close to that time where I need buttons, and I don't know what buttons I'm putting on this. I also don't know where to get buttons. And there's a lot of independent small businesses who sell buttons, so give me all those, your favorites. Tell me your favorites that are on maybe on Etsy. Where are you getting your buttons? I would love to support small businesses, and whether they're on Etsy or their own, have their own online page. But I ended up ordering some buttons from Etsy, some wood buttons that I really liked, but it's going to come down to, when I get them, to look at them on the project to see if I like the size of them or not. If I like the size of them, because on the buttons on this, for the pattern, I don't know if she tells you how many buttons to do, but I've noticed on just looking at the sample project and all the other projects people have done with this, they do a lot of buttons. They'll do like 9 buttons, like here all the way, like a lot of them, which I like that look, but I didn't see anyone stray from that. And so, because I went through all the pictures, I was like, has anyone done bigger buttons on this to where they're more spread out and they're bigger? And no, everyone typically did the like 8 to 9 buttons pretty close together, and small buttons, which I like the look of. But I tended to, when I looked at buttons online, I was like, but I liked all the bigger ones. And so I got some that I think they were an inch wide. So I'm going to test those, see if I like them. If I don't, then I find something different. And then I have those for another project, because they're going to be super universal for anything that I need to do. I've also been knitting, or not knitting, I had a lot of blouses that, I don't like when things are low cut. Also because, yeah, I just don't like I don't like when things are low cut. And ever since having a little one and nursing, I got nothing there anymore. And so things look super, I feel more uncomfortable, or things look different on me having no chest anymore than they used to prior to having a little one. And so I had a lot of blouses that I wanted to alter, blouses that were very low cut, that just don't look right anymore in this area. And so I ended up taking all those blouses, finding buttons that I had, and putting in, sewing in buttonholes and putting in buttons up here so that I could close them. This one I feel good in, but other ones come down really low. And I'm like, I don't want that. And so I put 1 to 2 buttons here. A lot of them have the tie at the top too, so then they could tie and then have a button here, and they look super cute. So then I'll have the buttons that are coming in for this, I'll have all those extra buttons too, for anytime that I need to sew a blouse and add a button. So I think that's everything on the cardigan. I feel like I'm going to be done with it pretty soon, because like I said, I'm pretty much monogamously working on this one. I really am enjoying it. I love working with silk mohair. Did I work on something else recently with silk mohair? Yes, I knit my son's Monday sweater junior with silk mohair, but it was mohair paired with merino, and I really enjoyed that. I'm knitting the same sweater but in adult version for myself as well after this. So there's that one. Something else that here's what number 2. I am making another Romanticist bandana. This is by Merbearmade. I have one of these. I'll show you the one that I have, and I wear this so much that I need another one. And it's just I wear it's perfect for spring, but I wear it in any season now. Really, I love these. This is the other one. I love the pattern, the I-cord of it. I love everything about this. I love the yarn. This is knit using Rowan Summerlite DK. It's Egyptian cotton, and I think this color was in Cecily, and this one, I can't remember what this one is called, but you can kind of see it's this tan beige color, which will be perfect for any outfit. I really wear this with whatever though. I don't care if it really matches or not, but it does tend to match a lot of what I wear. I love these little bandanas, and so I wanted another one, So yeah, so that's what I'm working on there. I've talked about this before, but I really love this yarn. It is cotton, but it does not hurt my hands like so many people I think have trouble with working with cotton because it hurts their hands. This cotton is lovely. So if you need a cotton to work with, don't do that sugar and cream stuff from Michael's craft store. Get get some of this. I also found that on, I don't know, um tell me where you, I'd love to know where you order your yarn from if you don't order from the dyer or the yarn brand themselves. Because I tested out Wool Warehouse, and I got this for much cheaper than I've gotten it before, which was nice because I was on a tight budget last year when I got this. But I do like to support small businesses when I can, but having it cheaper from Wool Warehouse was ideal at that time. So Wool Warehouse, if you're looking for this, has it for a great deal. And what else did I get from there? I got a few other things for a really great deal from Wool Warehouse. But let me know where else you're getting your yarn from and who you like to support. If it's not hand dyed, of course, if it's hand dyed, then I like to get it directly from the dyer. Okay, last one. Like I said, 3 projects. That's it. I also still have that blanket in the works. I haven't picked it up though. It's right there in the basket. But I've been working on my shawl. I felt reinvigorated, re-inspired to pick up my shawl. So, okay, it is just, hold please. Okay, untangled. This is the Find Your Fade shawl by Andrea Mowry. I'm not fading. I just picked a yarn that I really loved, a hand-dyed yarn that I wanted to knit. I bought this yarn because I fell in love with the yarn, wanted to use it with something, wanted a shawl, and so I picked this shawl because I like the way, I like the lace work and stuff in this shawl. It's a bunch of garter. It's like garter strips, like sections of garter with sections of lace, and I like that look a lot. It's a fingering weight, hand-dyed yarn. So here's my stitch marker from last time, y'all. I've gotten a little farther, right? I don't remember the last time that I talked about this, but since then I've gotten a few rows. It takes forever to work across this because it's so long. But I've been working on it again when I need I don't know if it's because I need a more mindless knit, because the cardigan is pretty mindless. It's very mindless. But this is also kind of mindless, at least where I'm at. I just had to remember, it's so hard when you set down a project for a while and then you pick it up again and you have to figure out where you're at. I really should like take better notes of like when I know that I'm setting a project down for a while, like here's where I'm at. But I figured it out. And yeah, so I'm working on this. This has been steamed with my iron. Because I wanted to see how it was working up. I needed to be re-inspired by it. And so yeah, so it's quite drapey and nice, and I love these colors. Let me tell you about the yarn. I took out a skein to show you. This is hand-dyed yarn by the Red Pansy in her colorway Water Lilies 1919 from her Monet collection. This is her Voyager sock base. It's 75% merino and 25% nylon. Isn't that just gorgeous? I hope that it's clear for you. It's hard to do this when you're filming on your phone and you can't see what it looks like on screen. But I love the colors in this. I also knit, if you saw my recent episode, this is the same dyer as the I'm looking at it right now. What's it called? It's a tee. Playdate tee. I knit the Playdate tee in Yarn by the Red Pansy in her colorway Poppy Fields, which is beautiful. It was that green and blue one. So this is what I've also been working on here and there. I by no means have like plans of when I'm gonna finish this, but it's just kind of one of those projects now where like if I'm feeling it, I'll pick it up and work on it. And we'll see when it's done. Yeah, I want to be a shawl wearer, a shawl knitter, but with fingering weight yarn. Oh my gosh, it takes a while. It takes a while. Did I touch base on everything on that one? I think so. If you have questions about anything that I'm using, just let me know. Put a question in the comments. I know a lot of people sometimes will share like needle size and everything. If you have questions, let me know. I'm doing everything by the pattern, but and yeah, I think that's everything yarn wise. Something else that I have planned for you to share with you guys is I've been having issues with socks. My socks having holes. So I got a darning egg. And yes, it's vintage. It's antique. Because if you know me yet, I love antique things and vintage things. I'm an old soul. And so yes, of course, I got an antique one. And I am planning on making a video on darning socks. So when I'm feeling that, because who wants to sit down and darn socks? Not me. But my socks all of a sudden all have holes in them. All my hand knit socks. And now it's not sock season to be wearing them anyways because I'm in Arizona and it was already 91 degrees this week. It's already gonna be summertime. Spring for y'all wherever else you're at, I'm sure, but it's gonna be hot summer for us soon. We're gonna be back inside. It's our winter season, like we stay inside in the AC, we don't go outside. So we're getting outside as much as we can, but I digress. I plan on learning how to darn socks and darning my socks so that I can have them ready for next season. I have hard, it's not real wood, it looks like wood, but I have like hard tile floors in my house and carpet, and I think I wear my hand knit socks a lot, and I wear them on the hard wood, hard tile, and it's not the greatest thing for them, I think, but they don't have any like cushion. I think maybe that next season, maybe I need to get like a pair of slippers that are indoor slippers that I can then wear with them. So, and then, you know, slip the slippers off when I'm putting my feet up sitting, and then wear the slippers when I'm walking around in my socks so that they don't have that hard friction of the hard floor on them. I don't know. If you've had problems with that, let me know. Because I was really getting frustrated. I was like, oh, all my socks have holes in them after all this hard work, and I just don't. So I'm kind of feeling discouraged on sock knitting right now, at least until I get these darned and wearable again. I just am feeling, after all those all of a sudden had holes in them, I was feeling a little discouraged on sock knitting. So if you have tips, favorite darning videos, anything, let me know. If you have a favorite darning technique, I know there's like 3 main techniques out there. If you have a favorite darning technique, what do you do? What do you use? And yeah. So I imagine that when I sit down and I'm ready to actually do that, I will put a video up for you guys so you can join me on that process. I'm sure it will be an interesting process. Okay, books. So if you were just here for the knitting and you want to move on to another knitting video, I will see you next time. Go enjoy all the yarny goodness out there on YouTube. Thanks for hanging with me. And if you would like to see the books that I have finished, stick around. Just 3. I share with you guys, I read a lot of books at once, but I share with you the ones that I finish. So, except for this time, I am going to share with you one that I'm currently reading. I think I'm going to be done with it really soon, but I've been super enjoying Dune. My husband got me into it. I'm listening to it on audiobook, but he read it. He's not a reader whatsoever. He skated by through like high school, did not read a single book. He like did the YouTube summaries all through high school and skated by on that. Hates reading. But he read this and he loved it. He read the first one. He started the second one and then he had a hard time with the second one because he said that it wasn't as much like the first one. So then he stopped it. But then we saw the second movie and he was like, oh, I think I want to give it a try again. And so now I'm listening. We have the audiobook on Audible. I'm listening to the audiobook right now. When I'm done, then he's going to re-listen to the first one and then listen to the second one. And we're actually going to go see tonight. We don't often get date nights. And we're going to go see a movie tonight. Like I said, we're going to go to dinner and a movie tonight. And he's been working nights all this week, and so I'm looking forward to just having quality time together. But we're gonna go and see Dune 2 for the second time because we saw it the first time and we loved it so much. And he was like, how much was that movie again? How much did that cost? I wouldn't mind going and seeing it again before it's not in theaters again. So I was like, should we have Mimi come over and watch the little one and go see a movie? He said, so we're gonna go do that. But yeah, we're really enjoying this. Yeah. He also says that he likes this more than Star Wars. He says if it weren't for the nostalgia of Star Wars, then this wins, hands down. So that says a lot, especially for someone who doesn't read. But I'm really enjoying it and excited to go see the movie again tonight. Okay, next book I finished was called The Slight Edge, Turning Simple Disciplines into Massive Success and Happiness by Jeff Olson. I didn't say who this was by. Frank Herbert. Okay, this one is by Jeff Olson. I didn't like this, you guys. A friend of mine, who I consider like a co-worker friend, I'm an editor and I support content and copywriters in the online space, with their work for their clients. And I used to do books, but I still do here and there, but I mostly support content copywriters now. But my friend, who is a copywriter and kind of like a co-worker to me, he reads a lot of business mindset books, and he recommended this to me. And I'd heard a lot of other people recommend it in my workspace, and so I picked it up. The concept is great. The concept is just simply that when you do small things continuously, and you keep at it, it's kind of like, what's that book? I never read it, but I imagine that it's similar to like Atomic Habits, that you see results. You have to have simple disciplines, no matter what it's in, whether it's in work, whether it's in reading. If you even just read, it harps a lot on, read 10 pages a day of a book and you'll have read how many pages by the end of the year, and you've learned so much more than the average person. It's just all these little things, little disciplines and habits that you create in your daily that then have a great compounding effect. And and that's the slight edge, is that then you see success and you have happiness because you've been doing these things continuously and you reap the benefits. And great concept, totally makes sense. And I can see areas that's worked for me. I see how that, I see how that works for other people. But the way, I don't know if it's just because I'm an editor or a reader or what, but the way that this book was constructed, written, I did not like it. I was not a fan. I really kind of was just like, he just said this 10 different ways. He said the same thing so many different ways, and just it, which, yes, repetition is great sometimes. To really get that concept down, and saying it in different ways is great so that other people can understand it in a different way. But like, this was just the same thing over and over and over again. I felt like, didn't he just say that? Like, in the last chapter? Like, yeah. But I was committed. I followed through. I don't like not following through on a book. The only time I've DNF'd a book is if it's like a fiction and I hate it. Then I'll DNF it. But I usually like to give a book the benefit of the doubt and give it a chance and keep going. And so I kept going on this. Like I said, I enjoy the concept. I like the concept. Co-sign the concept. And yeah, but I just, the writing and the construction of the book, I think that if this book were in the hands of a different editor, it would have been hacked to pieces. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say on this book. I guess I don't really have anything nice to say about this book, which I kind of feel bad about, but it happens, and I feel like there was definitely things that you can get out of this book. And I know that it has, for writers that I know who have a small business and are growing their business, who have read this book, that they've benefited greatly from this. So not to say that someone else can't benefit from it more. Okay, the third book that I read was My Hair, My Glory, Is There Really Any Significance by Juli, Jasinki. This book has been recommended to me by multiple ladies, and I picked it up. And this really just talks about, it looks at what the Bible says about hair. And it dives really deeply into the history of hair, history of hair in biblical times, hair through history, hair just through all the decades through the 1900s, and how things changed, and the Roaring 20s, and the bob, and all the way to the 70s, 80s, 90s. This book was written in the 90s though, so it only goes up to that point. But this was a wonderful book. I'm so glad that I read it, that it was recommended to me, and that the answer is yes, there is significance to hair, and the significance and what it really is about is uncut hair, allowing your hair to grow, keeping it uncut, out of love and obedience to the Lord, and following what His Word commands of us and says of us, for us to do. And so yes, there is significance to it. And I really enjoyed the way that this book was written, the history that was involved, and the stories shared. And yeah, so if you are curious at all about what the Bible says about hair, or about what's this all about, women growing their hair long for the Lord, and what that means and why, this book will explain it all to you. It really goes into great depth, and so I'm thankful for it. I'm glad that I read it. And so yeah, that's the third book that I read, that I finished. Okay, editing Brooke here. I forgot about 2 books. I also finished the Bezos Blueprint by Carmine Gallo. This was recommended to me by someone I know through LinkedIn, through work. And this was great. It's on communication secrets of the world's greatest salesman. It is about Jeff Bezos, and I thought it was going to be more about Amazon, but it ended up being a lot more about writing, copywriting, content writing, not content writing really, copywriting mostly. So it was very fitting for me to read as an editor supporting content and copywriters. And I learned a lot from it. It actually inspired me to incorporate readability scoring into my work and my support for my clients. And it had a lot of great tips and insight into writing good copy. So that one was another read that I finished. And another one, I'm going to put the picture up on the screen right here for you. Another one that I finished was called The In-Between by Hadley Vlahos. We read that for last month for my book club. I have a local mama's book club. We meet once a month at my house and we read, we all suggest, everyone suggests books. We do a vote, and the winning book, the book that wins the votes was what we read for that month. And so we read The In-Between, and that one was by a nurse, a hospice nurse who wrote about her journey becoming a hospice nurse, as well as some of her particular patient experiences, and a lot of all of these end-of-life experiences. So that one was super interesting. It was a big hit in book club because we have some nurses, PAs in book club, and yeah, so that one was good as well. All right, back to the end of the video. Recently, and I think that is everything. So thanks so much for joining me. I'll check back in with you all when I finish my cardigan and with whatever else I cast on and what I'm working on. And I will hopefully see you over on Instagram or Ravelry, anywhere else that you hang out. I hope you're having a happy spring, enjoying the beautiful weather. Hopefully you're not suffering from allergies like I was the other week. And I wish you happy knitting and happy reading, and I'll see you all next time.